A pleasant good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are watching us from. We are live from Focal Online TV. We are located within a Topo Village community along the Japanese Highway. I'm saying welcome to the daily edition of Inside the Print Media, where we bring you information from our news sources within Liberia and the world at large. So I'm here this morning as your presenter on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media, Gregphina, and I'm here with my co-presenter this morning.
My name is Mohammed Kanneh.
His name is Mohammed Kanneh, and our presenter who should have stir up the show this morning is not here. But we're gonna be diving you through with some important information as it relates to our country and the world at large. So this morning, let us take a look at our newspaper revision. We have the Daily Observer newspaper here in studio. We have the New newspaper. We have the Independent Probe newspaper, and we move over to our international news. Our we have the ABC News and the CNN News. So we take a short break, we get back, we go into the headlines and the details of our news today. Please stay with me. I'm your presenter, Gregphina on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. Today is Wednesday, July 19, 2023. And I'm here with my co-presenter this morning, and his name is
Mohammed Kanneh.
Mohammed Kanneh is my co-presenter. We take a short break. We'll be right back. Please share our live stream and thank you for watching. Stay with me, please. Welcome back to Focal Online TV, where we bring you the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. This morning, we have in our studio here the Daily Observer newspaper, we have the New Down newspaper, we have the Independent Probe newspaper, we have international news, and our sources are ABC and CNN. So I'm your presenter on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. And live on the diaspora, we are saying good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are this morning. If you are within Liberia, a pleasant good morning to you. Welcome to Focal Online TV, where we bring innovation to broadcasting. So I'm here with my co-presenter, and his name is
Mohammed Kanneh.
Mohammed is my co-presenter on today's daily edition of Inside the Print Media. So we now move forward as we look at the Daily Observer newspaper here in studio. Headlines within the Daily Observer newspaper. President Weah warns Liberians against elected field political leaders. This particular one was done yesterday, July 18. That was the headline from the Daily Observer newspaper, one of the headlines. So we'll move over to today headlines that has to do with Liberia consumes more rice than Nigeria, Ghana. Liberia consumes more rice than Nigeria, Ghana. Main demand for rice amid inadequate production capacity is fueling food insecurity and poverty, which disparity affect the most vulnerable according to the World Bank. In a report about the Liberian economy, the bank noted that over the past 15 years, rice consumption in Liberia has increased at an annual rate of 4.6%, reaching 5,600 metric tons in 2021. Cited data from the Food and Agriculture Organization FAO named Liberia as the fifth highest consumer of rice in West Africa and the fourth highest consumer in sub-Saharan Africa. High population growth, household preferences for rice, and changes in income are the main drivers of the demand for rice in Liberia, the bank disclosed. We now move over to another headline on the Daily Observer News. House passes US 759 million restated budget awaits Senate. House passes US 759 million restated budget awaits Senate. The House of Representatives approved President George Weah's request for a restated budget of US 759 million as a result of a US 23 million shortfall. The decision came 4 months after it incurred with the Senate to pass a budget of US 782.9 million for the fiscal year 2023, which is less than the US 1 million mark envisioned by the government. The decision yesterday also came 14 days after President's request, which he said was needed to address economic challenges and pressing needs of the nation. We are who blame the confluence of reduction in the volume of trade, expiration of surcharge of petroleum, and reduction in the market price on petroleum as factors that necessitate the request, has submitted the revised budget to accommodate unforeseen circumstances. And the president assured the nation that it will be instrumental in moving towards a path of progress and development. To ensure the year-end spending is in the line with available resources, adjustments in spending entitles program allocation balances to ensure that the risk is absorbed by all sundry. We are said in a letter to the House as he made the request for recasting. The realized budget amount of US 23.5 million has been deemed a risk and untenable. The total adjusted recurring expenditure is estimated at US 612.5 million or 80.7% of the total proposed expenditure. The revised expenditure estimate for public sector is US 146.8 million or 19.3% of the total proposed expenditure. The shortfall, which will affect existing funding for education, healthcare, and infrastructure development, and impact direct effects on Liberians, especially on those already struggling to make ends meet, comes as Liberia's fiscal position weakens too. The total adjusted recurring expenditure is estimated at 612 million or 80.7% of the total proposed expenditure. The revised expenditure estimate for public sector investment is US 146.8 million or 19.3% of the expenditure. The overall fiscal deficit widened to 6.9% of GDP in 2022, up from 2.4% in 2021, with the increase entirely driven by the primary deficit that rose from 7.9% of GDP in 2021 to 6.0% in 2022. The World Bank, in a new report on the country's economy, disclosed. This is how we now turn over to Mohammed Fani Khan for our headlines and using details as it relates to our source, the front page.
So, Gregphina, correspond. Thank you so much. It is my pleasure making my first debut on the program Inside the Print Media. So, we have youth Utinanga temporarily steps away from maritime authority to lead President Ria's re-election campaign. So under the front page Africa, we have imposes fine by William Smith, former Deputy Director General for Information Statistics and Geoinformation Services, alleging damages, slander, and libel. July 14, 2023, the court ordered the temporary closure of Spoon TV and FM communication network. During the execution of the order, it was alleged that some of the staffs and management of Spoon Network attacked and assaulted court officers and late on Monday evening, Judge Kennedy P. Valley issued a summons to the management of Spoon Network and certain staff members requiring them to show cause as contempt of court. To the Independent Probe newspaper, where we have in our possession one of the first stories we have here is Sierra Leone bans meat imports from Liberia. It's an eye-catching story, so we urge you to go and get yourself a copy of that newspaper. And then another story of the Independent Probe is Charlie Bronston says CPP to champions women empowerment and entrepreneurship in first 100 days deliverables. So we look forward to that when you and Mr. Kumi has been elected by the popular votes of the Liberian people. Empower women as pillars of society. So, in duty of that story from the independent Pope, Sierra Leone authorities have banned the movement of cattle from Liberia as well as the import of meat from the neighboring country due to the still unexplained death of 36 cows in a border area. They said in a statement on Tuesday. According to according to Monrovia, an investigation is underway into the causes of the death of cattle in early June in a field in the town of Keleman Bindu in Lofa County, about 10 kilometers from the Sierra Leone border and about 15 to Guinea. Liberian authorities have not said when the results of the investigation will be known. Sierra Leone has banned the movement of cattle, goats, and sheep along the border with Liberia. The importer of the importer of meat products from the country temporarily closed livestock markets in the border area and increased surveillance in slaughterhouse. In May 2022, an anthrax epidemic broke out in Sierra Leone, killing more than 200 animals transmitted by spreads that can remain inactive for decades in the soil. This disease, called anthrax in English, is transmissible to humans and potentially fatal in its rarest forms. So far, no cases of deaf cattle in Lofa or other counties, Liberia's agriculture minister said on July 7th. To the next story here is Charlie Bromskin says CPP to champions women's empowerment and entrepreneurship in first 100 days deliverable. On Friday, July 14, 2023, the running mate of collaborating political party CPP Councillor Charlie Bromskin and our fixer remarkable display of commitment to women's empowerment, doing a surprise visit to Clay Street at a popular spot for its excellent hair design in the area of hair plaiting. This visit marked a significant milestone in the CPP's campaign for the upcoming elections as Councillor Charlie Bromskin engaged with schools of women, highlighting their invaluable contribution to society and promising substantial support to their entrepreneurial endeavors with a strong emphasis on recognizing the struggles faced by women and their pivotal role in families and communities. Councillor Bromsky unveiled an ambitious plan of the CPD presumptive government to allocate 20 million to entrepreneurship within first 100 of the coming presidencies. This sheds light on the extraordinary initiative and emphasis that for the Cummins Bromskin ticket. Empowering women as pillars of society, another eye-catching story on the independent probe indispensable role in society, bearing the weight of countless responsibilities on their shoulders, backs, and hair. Councillor and appreciate the vital contributions women make within their families and community. Signifies a deep understanding of the challenges faced by women and a genius commitment to addressing them. By actively engaging with the women hair plaiting era, Councillor Bronsky has demonstrated her determination to uplift women and empower them to achieve economic empowerment. So that is it there for the independent probe and that of the front page Africa. So you can go out there and get yourself a copy of this newspaper we have read. So courage it. That is it.
Thank you, Mohammed Fanny Kanneh, for reading out our news and headlines. We now move over to the Newtown newspaper. Our headlines reads, I am living in serious pain. I am living in serious pain. Mr. Omega Tube, an allied Liberian cocoa farmer from Sawe Town, Nimba County, Electoral District Number 5, is appealing to all well-meaning Liberians, philanthropists, and humanitarian organizations to assist him seek better medical treatment for his damaged paper in an exclusive interview Saturday, 15 July 2023, that he is facing a strange situation with his eyes. According to Togbe, it started stick while working on his cocoa farm. He explained that on 15 April 2022, while working on his cocoa farm, a stick hit his eyes. According to him, since this unfortunate situation, he has been living in an extreme pain and blindness. To see or even work because tears pull down his eyes continuously. Tokwe pointed live in Monrovia decided to help him, but the hospital in Monrovia charged him 20,000 Liberian dollars to do the operation and change. He said when he got there, the specialist decided operation in Kansas City. However, Tokwe lamented that he lost the opportunity because he never had the amount of $10,000 charged as well as transportation to leave his village. This situation is like a hell, my brother. I no longer do any farm work. I have my there because anytime I bend down, it's like the eye is coming to fall and the water can be pooling fast, he explained. Mr. Togbe disclosed that when the situation started, people told him to buy a drop, which he has used but did not find a solution after spending. Went to the hospital in La Pola to do my test. After applying, all the people have told me and in no results, said Tokwe. Those go to Kanta to change the eye for 10,000 Liberian dollars. But I didn't have money, that's why I didn't go. I have been blind. I have been blind and I have been behind our lawmaker representative, Samuel Koka, but he has refused to help. The situation, he said the head of his family collected 900 Liberian dollars and gave it to me and gave it to him to get eye drops and gave it to me to get eye drop. He said there has been no other help from the family, but he is being looked after by a lady who gives him food. He said his partner has left him after this incident of his eye. Taking care of me. In 2022, I was supposed to build a house, but no way. I am still sitting down here because of this condition. Yeah, all his farms has been damaged and he has no family members around to help him. So this is a SOS call to our fellow Liberians, our fellow humanitarians out there who are watching us live. This man is within and he's a resident of Nima County, and he's appealing. He's using these people, um, our representative, our senators, even our president. So please aid him in this terrible situation. Our eye is important. That is the reason why it is a part of our body. Everybody part on us is important. So he's asking that someone come to his aid. So and you want to help, we say thank you. We can be reached out through our organization that we can help in this particular SOS call. So we now move over to another headline under the new down news. Citizens react to We Are Thank You rally. Citizens react to We Are Thank You rally. But Larry Wisse, a resident of Fiamma community in Monserrato, District Number 9, said he sees no reason to appreciate President Weah because the president has caused more harm than good for Liberia. According to him, the only thing that he can be appreciated about is constructing of personal luxurious properties like Jamaica Resort, while the country's youth have been negatively impacted by drugs. Similarly, Brian Hanna, a Colorado, that the purpose of the rally was for campaign, which he considered a serious violation of elections regulation. Brian believes the National Election Commission will not take any action because the commission such activities, adding that all previous electoral violations committed by President Weah had gone ignored, and this latest will be no different. Additionally, a resident of District Number 10 described the thank you rally as mere show, as the president had nothing substantial. He says instead of outlining his accomplishment over the past 6 years, the president appeared to be excessive to substance to discuss. Wow. When I asked some of my friends why they were thanking the president, none of them were able to provide a specific argues that there was nothing worthy of gratitude. Cherry continues that if he were forced to express gratitude, it would be for the president's use of luxurious vehicles. This is how we close up on our local news here within Liberia. Back with our international sources, the ABC and the CNN. If you are watching us, we say thank you for watching us. We have Makelo, where we have Andy Boblet Jada. We say thank you for watching us live here in studio while we bring you the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. I'm your presenter for this show, Gregphina, and I'm being assisted this morning.
Mohammed Van Kanneh.
Mohammed Van Kanneh is my co-presenter of Inside the Print Media. Before I leave you, let me remind you with this motivation. Before I leave, the task ahead of you is never greater than your own height. The task ahead of you is never greater than your own height. So as we take a short share our live stream, as we will be back with our ABC and CNN.
Focal TV, bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. Focal TV, with check and balance, we bring it as it unfolds. Focal TV, bringing you face to face with newsmakers in town. Focal TV, the best online platform in broadcasting. Focal TV, located at Tobo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online broadcasting. Keep focal.
Welcome back to Focal Online TV. We are back again with a discussion on social media, and we move straightly to our international news for today. We have the ABC News, and I'll read the headlines and news in details. Child dies after being hit by 3-year-old driving golf cart, authorities said. Child dies after being hit by 3-year-old driving golf cart. The 3-year-old in Fort Myers, Florida, has died after sustaining critical injuries when he was struck by a golf cart. His 3-year-old brother was driving, law enforcement officials said. The 3-year-old, who was driving a car on a private property on Orange River Boulevard Monday, was approaching a curve near a home on the street when he collided with his brother, the Florida Highway Patrol said in a news release. The 7-year-old brother had been standing in front of the home at the time. The Highway Patrol did not provide any information on why the 3-year-old child was driving the golf cart. The 7-year-old was transported to the hospital where he later died, according to the Florida Highway Patrol. The child driving a golf cart did not sustain injuries, according to the officials. He was not wearing a seatbelt and was not wearing a helmet, police said. Law enforcement are currently investigating the incident. We now move over to another top story on the ABC News. Home search in Tupac Shakur murder investigation. Home search in Tupac Shakur murder investigation. Police search a home in Las Vegas as part of investigating the long dormant murder case of Tupac Shakur, according to the police. LVMPD search warrant was served in Henderson, Nevada on July 17, 2023, as part of the ongoing Tupac Shakur homicide investigation. Las Vegas police said in a statement, "We will have no further comment at this time." Las Vegas homicide detectives and prosecutors said by Monday night they had enough information to proceed with a court-authorized search. An official briefed on the investigation told ABC News the search was conducted at about 10 p.m. local time, with Las Vegas Metro PD SWAT on hand. The scene was described as loud, with police using bullhorns and lights. Among the items sought by investigators were computers, laptops, and articles about Tupac and his death. The evidence in the case is now being presented to a Las Vegas grand jury. No charges have been filed. The investigation is expected to continue for weeks to months. Investigators have long believed the gunman is likely already dead, the victim of a separate shooting 2 years after the Vegas drive-by. The current investigation could lead to a determination of who was in the car with the gunman when the rounds were fired that killed Tupac. That could lead to someone being charged as an accomplice, but the officials cautioned the charging decisions will be unbiased. The Tupac probe, after going unsolved for more than 20 years, gained new momentum after 2018. According to ABC News, detectives re-engaged in the case after Netflix aired Unresolved, the Tupac and Biggie murders in 2018, and the book Compton Street Legend by Gregphina D, who has said he is one of two living eyewitnesses to the shooting, came out in 2019. This is how we close down on the ABC News. We now move over to the CNN News. The headlines: flood waters reach iconic Taj Mahal as nothing in sight. deluge. Flood waters reach iconic Dash Mahal as northern India reels from massive deluge. Devastating floods causing havoc across northern India have reached the iconic Taj Mahal in a region that one could become a regular occurrence as the climate crisis brings ever more extreme weather. Floodwaters from the Yamuna River lapped at the compound walls of the monument and major tourist attraction on Tuesday. Videos and photos on social media showed. A garden located behind the Taj Mahal was also seen flood water. However, the Archaeological Survey of India (ASI), which maintains the heritage site, a threat from the current floods, CNN affiliate CNN News reported. Experts said it is rare for flood waters to reach the outer walls of the complex, which was built near the city of Agra in northern state of in the 17th century by a Maku emperor to honor his wife who millions of tourists visit the site each year. While floods occur regularly in the area during India's monsoon season from June to September, experts say climate change is increasing their frequency and severity. The Yamuna River, or tributary or Ganges, has reached its highest level on record, authorities said last week, prompting mass evacuations as northern states report dozens of deaths from the heavy flooding. The Yamuna, which flows about 855 miles, reaching 1,376 kilometers south from the Himalayas through several states, rose to 208.57 meters above 684 feet, as officials said. This is how we close down on our news segment for today, both local news within our country, Liberia, and international news. We are saying thank you for watching. I'm encouraged get yourself a newspaper to get more stories about our country, Liberia, and worldwide as well. We encourage you to please continue to watch our live stream here at Focal Online TV, because every day from the edition of Inside the Print Media, I am always your presenter here on Inside the Print Media, Gregphina Sipar, and today I'm being co-assisted. Mohammed Kanneh is my co-presenter, for today's show. I'm encouraging you to continue watching us live from the diaspora. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for sharing. Stay with us, because with Focal Online TV, we bring innovation to broadcasting. Mohammed Kanneh looking at all of the training story this week. I'm kind of new to this particular story as it relates to the thank you rally, and reading this story, the views of some of our fellow Liberians as they approach by saying that this particular reason to thank the president. If he is forced to thank the president, then he will say for all of the luxurious things or the luxurious cars he's riding, Jamaica about it. I think we have like 3 persons responding from different districts to the president or to the thank you rally, that they are not seeing anything to show anything the president is showing why he should be thanked for.
Yeah, actually, it is my pleasure sitting on the platform for the first time to serve as a co-presenter or a co-host to you on Inside the Print Media. the face is not really strange on this platform, but the face is strange on this program. So there are a lot of things that people going to say or people are saying as it relates to President We Are Thank You rally that was shared on Monday. Other people, when you speak to other people, they will tell you that though it was not necessary. Some people will talk about the timing, looking at Monday to be a fresh working day. But how be it, how whatsoever case is, we were there, we were live streaming, we provided all of the pieces as it unfolds at at the headquarters of the CDC. So people are entitled to their views, people are entitled to their independent opinion. So for the brother saying that there is no need for President We Are Thinking Rally, it is up to him. He has his reasons. He believes that there are reasons for which he should not go to the headquarters of the CDC to tell Mr. We Are Thank You. But if you speak to people from the CDC, they will tell you that, oh, our president has done well. He is one of the best presidents in the history of Liberia. I am not speaking
I'm thinking, say, what are you an hours edition?
no. For the record, my party is the microphone. The microphone is my political party. So for that, people have the right to express themselves. People have the right,
Yeah.
yeah, to question the rally, and most especially people start to place key emphasis on a working day, which of course it was on Monday, while they could not use the Friday. It is it is something encouraging. We must also encourage people to come up with their own opinion as it relates to issues within our country.
For giving your honest view. But then, in my own word, I feel appreciation should be given to someone who has done something and who has done well. Now, I'm not siding here, but I'm simply trying to say that looking at all of the things our president have done, all of the wrongs, and I feel there's still a little good in some of the things he has done. If you don't see it that way, I'm saying for the peace, just for the peace, God first, for the peace we have as a country,
Yeah.
ranging for yes, he should be thanked for maintaining the peace we have within our country, Liberia. From our politics, it comes to why he should be appreciated, but I'm saying in a general form for the peace we have, the stability of peace in our country, Liberia. I'm using this platform to say thank you to President George Manuia for upholding the peace we have. There are people within our country who, if they have the chance to be president, they might not uphold the peace we have within our country,
Oh yeah,
Liberia.
sure.
But for the fact that he has uphold this peace freely, we can move around freely, we can protest, and I'm saying thank you to him. But our brothers and our sisters who are saying there is nothing to be thankful for, looking at their dimension from which they are coming from, if it is politically, or it is if it is in the term of
You know the sad thing about it is, if this was going to be former vice president, folks from the United Party, they were going to be hearing him. They were going to say, "Oh yes, it's necessary to appreciate Ambassador Joseph Nima government." If it was going to come from the circle of the CPP under Mr. Cummings, those from the CPP going to be in the street and say, "Yes, it is okay that Mr. Cummings has worked. Mr. Cummings has contributed a lot of things to this country, so it is prudent enough. We appreciate him. We say thank you to him." So that is just politics in Liberia, not just Liberia, but all around the world. People have their right to exercise whatsoever responsibility, whatsoever for that particular day. And then the another thing that which of course on Monday, when I started to ask other people who were on the rally, and then I was asking one of the folks I asked was whether the numbers that we saw out there, whether that number can transfer. And when I asked the brother whether that number can transform to a vote in a simplicity form, what those numbers that we saw out there, whether this number can transform to a vote in the interest of President Josh Manor, we are retaining his seat. That is the bigger question. We serving in this media institution on all of the various online or FM platform? That is the bigger questions I think we should be asking people whether the number that were out there, whether this number can go in the direction of the CDC. We saw that in the 20 in the CDC put out a massive number here at the SKD, and then at the end of the day, Polita Weir could not become the senator of Maserati County. Another midterm senatorial election, we saw Thomas Fala, the CDC put out a huge number here. The entire country was locked down. At the end of the day, they lost the mass of the people in this country. So that is it. We just look forward to having a very peaceful
So
election.
Mohammed, Fanny Kanneh, I hope you are not being biased. I hope you're not
Of course. So if
I
you
hope
say
you're not siding.
bias-
But I want us to keep our conversation as it relates to politics on my show. I say my show because you are helping and you are aiding me as a co-presenter. I don't want you daffing because you have this your political
so
show
I'm
and
just
everything. Issue in a general platform, in a general way. I'm not saying people don't have the right to their views. People should be respected of that. People should have the freedom to speak their mind. So say and backed by our constitution of Liberia. So whether the masses that went under that ring on Monday went because they wanted to get money or went because they were influenced to go, that's their business. But I feel I shouldn't be pulled out from my house if I'm not in support of someone to go under the ring. So in a general form, I would say, speaking on this platform, that those who went there were partisans of CDC.
oh yeah.
I would say that because for
Yeah.
one fact, it makes no sense. I'm not. I hope I'm not being rude on this platform, but it makes no sense, Mohammed. Can you agree with me that I will
Sure,
leave my
sure,
work, I
sure.
will leave my business, I will leave my children at home, or I will leave some important issues if I'm not in favor of President George Manawia, if I'm not to just go there and just cheer for him or some being hurt because I mean the crowd. I know some people got wounded. I'm not saying
Oh,
there was a
sure.
casualty, but people got wounded. Maybe and
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
that. So I mean, people went there because this is their political party. The real-led government. And then one thing I captured in a statement from this person, the person said, and in this particular rally was being used as a form of campaign. Did you get that right from the story? That's what
Yeah,
the
I saw
person said.
that in the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In some form, in some logic, I will kind of agree with them, right? I'll kind of agree with them. But since it is not that way, the event was named a thank you rally. So let's try to stick with it. Let's try to stick with it that way. That it was a thank you rally. It was no form of election. Even though our president our president's statement, let me tell you, be still a cool people in your country. Cool people. They're not you can give your final say and then we'll wrap up our show for
So, just to react to Brian Hannah, who spoke to
Hannah Bryant, yeah.
okay, Hannah
She's a
Bryan, who
female.
spoke to one of the media outlets, which is the New Dawn newspaper, by saying it was a form of campaign. For me, I did not see that in any form of campaign because
Sure.
for one fight, I did not see vote President Josh Manawia and
Yeah.
Howard Taylor. So, if at all, for any reason that it is in any form of campaign, then we should have all of the banners that were posted at various places within this country. So for the issue of the Brazil, I don't know what two forces, there were a lot of jars that were thrown
Yeah.
out. The former
Can you please say some? I don't want to say some. I heard, but I don't want to say some. So let me first acknowledge our viewers again. Mato is watching from New Georgia Estate. We have Molly Kwe, Molly is watching us. Thank you, Molly, for your continuous act. And we are seeing Andy Broplet Jala. He's watching us. Of innovators. Wow. And Ambassador Mole Masakwe, he's watching us. Prince T Bondo is watching us. He's saying perfect. So yeah, I just I was not.
Yeah.
So say something. I want nobody to hold me. You are the political man here. Please say something.
So
Yeah.
on that day, which of on Monday
Yeah.
this week, on Monday, we saw the president took to the stage, he took to the podium, he acknowledged his supporters, he firstly recognized the presence of all the political party hierarchies within all the political parties that were present. He recognized them. And then he started to talk about experience, saying that he is the most experienced person. There's no president is most experienced than him. And then he further went down by saying that supporters and Liberian, advising them that they should not drink from the old one that is in the same old bottle. So people
Why are
start
you
to
laughing? You looking at me and you laughing. Why are you laughing?
no, but these people are the politicians that election is 84 days to go.
So in just one word, can you tell me what the president said? I mean that particular thing that is trending. I don't know it. And you will not force me. Someone say in this country that don't be pepper in my mouth. So don't force me to say something here. You know you are there. Say what the man said. Just one. Maybe they get that phrase. What he said. I want to know.
There were a lot of things the president spoke on.
Okay. Give me one. Give me one.
He talked about the Goku story that how in fact he had discovered the Goku story that former Vice President Joe Nima Boga does not want to be using the Goku story now. So what the folks on the Party normally do this time around is they put one small little girl, a little girl right by the side. They put a little girl by the side of the former Vice President Joe Nima Boga in any attempt for him to fall asleep. That little
Look at that.
Papa don't sleep. Get up, Papa don't sleep. So that is it. It was and it was something good for the folks from the CDC.
Yeah.
They are hoping of these people who went there. They're hoping of what are these people going to vote for them.
Yeah.
And some of them, you could see the smile, the happiness on their face. First Lady Joa Howard Taylor was there. Vice President Manajua Howard Taylor, she was there. Sorry, the First Lady, Cloud Marie Weah was present with the First Lady. She was dressed up in her dominant blue, and then while the president was in his dominant white with a CDC writing on the left side of his purple shirt. Wow. So that was it. It was very, very much okay, and we look forward to the folks from the CDC. I mean, the folks from the Unity Party coming out to respond over press conference, and it was very, very much fiery talking to their leader, just re-emphasizing on the thank you rally to the president. So, Courage, thank you so much. It's my pleasure being here on your.
Thank you, Mohammed. So there's this phrase I was waiting for, but I didn't get it from you. He mentioned in his statement at the thank you rally, our president. He said, Honorable George Manawia, he said that how will the people see me when I was in the Senate? See me. Why are you laughing? You know this and you didn't mention it. How will the people see me? I was not there. I watch it. How will the people see me? I agree with them. When they said they did not see me, I agree with them. Because how will the people see me when I'll put my hair up? And then the president went down. He said there are two types of Joseph. And then he said, you have Joseph, the dreamer, and Joseph the sleeper. You know that, but you didn't mention it.
And so, he also talked about Moses going to the Egypt land also.
Oh, wow. I didn't follow.
We are friends with Tom also.
So yeah, this is how we wrap up. I'm saying thank you to those who went, the partisans of CDC. I'm saying thank you to you for the peace. There was no chaos. There was no riots.
Yeah.
For maintaining the peace in
I
Great
was
Britain.
president of the
So I'm
city,
saying thank you.
and for
Wherever you are watching us from,
president of the city,
you are watching it now.
my job was to sit down
There's another one from Joseph Walker
and
for the church where you
direct
are. Wow,
the
this thing is
debate.
getting so
So you put
interesting.
your hand
But
up,
this is
I
how we wrap
recognize
it
you.
up.
I'm
Yeah,
telling you,
on
one
Focal
day,
Online
Mr.
TV
Weir
with
never
the
put his
daily
hand
edition
up.
of Inside the
Yes, you
Print
are
Media.
correct.
Continue to encourage others
You
to
will not
share
see
our
my
live
hand
stream.
because every
Please
time I
continue
put it on, you'll be
share
sleeping.
our live stream. Continue to
So are you
broadcast
seeing
with
my
us
hand?
as we bring
Mr.
information
President,
close to
Mr.
you.
President, Mr.
Remember,
President, you not
bring
be,
information to
you
you
not
as
be.
we hear. We are
Now you
ready
see my hand.
as it relates to business deal, advertisement, whatever you want for your business. We are here. Our doors are open. We are located within the Topo Village community. Yourself a newspaper, be acquainted with the happenings within our country, Liberia. If you are a student, it is important. If you are a politician, it is important to know what you say to the people. The newspaper is being sold for an affordable price. We have 40 Liberian dollars in some news category, like the front page Africa, the New Dawn newspaper. They are being sold for 40 and 50 Liberian dollars. Get yourself a copy. Be a just so you be ahead, even though we are bringing the information to you. Thank you for watching. I'm your presenter on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media, Gregphina CPAR, and I'm being co-assisted by my co-presenter for today.
Yeah. My name is Mohammed Kanneh. I've been serving as your co-presenter on the platform.
K Mohammed Vanikane. I'm calling you K Lino Topa. I miss Lino today anyway. So before we wrap it up, the task ahead of you is never greater than your height. The task ahead of you is never greater than your height. So in that task. So try to reach out for it because you have that height. So as we wrap up, thank you for watching us. Thank you for sharing our live stream. We love you. Please stay with us as we'll be back tomorrow. Today we have another important show as it relates to the Women Talk here on Focal TV. The show is being run from 1 to 2 p.m. Join us. We will be talking about self-esteem. Try to tag that girl who you know and try to tag that woman. Watch us live here in studio at 1 p.m. Thank you for watching. We will be back again tomorrow with the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. I am Gregphina CPAR, your presenter.